Hello, my name is Daniel Kerridge, and this is just a quick presentation of my game design and innovation assignment. For this assignment, we had to make a game that would cater to people with a disability. So I've chosen blindness, as I was inspired by people doing blind video game challenges, and also a blind YouTuber called The True Blind Gaming, who plays video games completely blind and uses different ways to get around his problems and help him play the game. So the reason for this game is to show off some of my mechanics that I've used to make tower defense games, and especially a game like Plants vs Zombies, blind accessible. The reason for this is because these types of games are very visually required, as the player needs to figure out what their defenses look like and what type of things are attacking them and how to counteract them. So I thought it'd be pretty interesting to try to take one of the biggest aspects of these types of games, that being the visuals, and completely getting rid of them to try and figure out other ways to show the player where enemies are and what their defenses look like, whilst keeping the core of these types of games, so the strategy and the resource management, the same. The way I did this was using a lot of sound and changing the controls up. I learned this from watching and researching the True Blind Gamer, who used mods for stuff like Stardew Valley and had like text-to-speech and grid movement and things like that. So I implemented them into this game, as it works pretty well, and also just keeps the core of the game the same. So just talking about the mechanics that I've made before I show them off, I made it so whenever the player uses the mouse to scroll over a tile on one of the lanes, if there's anything in that lane will become louder compared to the other ones. So if you're just like quickly scrolling through the from lanes A to E, you can just quickly tell, oh, there's something in this lane and you need to defend it. The biggest thing I need to talk about though is I'm using a mouse for this, and I completely understand that is definitely not blind accessible, because obviously the whole idea of using a mouse completely blind doesn't work, as blind people have no idea where the mouse is or what you need to click on. So that is definitely not accessible. I understand that. The reason for this is because I have implemented keyboard controls, but for some reason the sound mechanic that I've made just doesn't work for them. I don't know why. I've tried multiple things, but because of this, I have made other mechanics. So the keyboard controls, you can still play this game using just the keyboard, but it's just that the main mechanic, the one that I was trying to show off, doesn't work with a keyboard. I'm still going to show it off because it still took me a lot of time to make, and I still think it's a pretty good way of like counteracting the visual stuff. But I just thought I'd tell you that before I show it off, just so if you're ever wondering why I'm using the mouse instead of the keyboard. So starting this game off, when I hit play, you'll hear a couple of sound cues.
The zombies are coming.
Find the lane the zombie is in.
So as you heard there's a little thing that tells you to find the lane the zombie is in, as you see up here. So as I mentioned before, if you just scroll through these lanes, you can hear it's the same, but this one's louder. So let's just quick comparison. Quiet, loud, quiet, loud. So as you can tell, there is definitely something in this lane. Now, other mechanics that I want to show off is just if you use the keyboard, as you can see, top left, the cube has a blue, very faint blue outline on it. If you hit down, keep going down like this. So you can use the keyboard for just movement, but as you can tell, like I said before, the sound effect just doesn't work when you're doing this. So to counteract stuff like this, if you are to click the spacebar on one of these tiles,
B2 empty. B2 empty. B1 empty.
It'll tell you what tile you're on and what's on it. So as you can see here, all these are empty. And then if you just were to click on the middle one,
C1 empty. Find the lane with the zombie wearing a metal bucket.
So what just happened there was I beat the first level by just clicking on one of the buttons of the lane where the zombie's in. You didn't have to click on where the zombie is, just the lane. Same with this one, just need to find the lane. But for this level, I showed off the mechanics, so I taught the player the very basics of this game, and now I'm amping up the difficulty. As you can hear, there's like multiple sound effects, and you need to find the zombie with a metal bucket. And as you can hear, there is a metal sound effect playing. So same as before, you could use your mouse to just scroll through here. And as you can hear, this sound is louder, but it doesn't sound like a metal bucket, so it's not this lane. And as you can hear, this sound is louder and has a metal bucket, so it's probably this lane. But before I show that, I also want to show off another mechanic, that being the number keys. So like I said, when I was talking about how I couldn't get the loud sound effect to work with on the keyboards, I came up with another mechanic, that's being if you were to hit one of the number keys. So if I were to hit, let's just say number 2, or hold it down.
B1 sunflower, B2 pea shooter, B3 empty, B4 empty, B5 empty, B6 conehead, B7 empty, B8 empty.
You could hear that entire lane, so you can still play this game just using mouse and keyboard, as you could just quickly go to like number 4.
D1 sunflower, D2 empty, D3 pea shooter, D4 walnut, D5 empty, D6 empty, D7 empty, D8 buckethead.
And as you can hear there was a buckethead in that lane. This is definitely not as quick as the other method, as you had to hear it through all the lanes before you got to like the one you need. But I did try to at least make it somewhat reliable, as you can cancel at any time. So if I were to just like, I wonder if I have a sunflower in the first lane, I could just hit 1.
A1 sunflower,
and then I can just instantly cancel it, just so I'm like, okay, now I know that's there. I can like just continue defenses like this. So just like the last one, just click on any button that's got the buckethead in the lane. So I can just click on this one.
D3 pea shooter. Find where the zombie is eating a plant.
And now finally, this is the final test, where instead of just click on the lane, you have to find this specific spot. So you have to use both the loud thing I was talking about and the number key mechanic that I was talking about. So as you can hear, not that lane, not that lane, that lane, that lane. Since this lane is the loudest when it comes to that eating sound effect, and you've got to try and find where the zombie's eating a plant, I can now use this. Now the next problem is, how do we find where he is on this lane, and that is just using the number key mechanic I was talking about. So if I hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th button.
E1 sunflower, E2 sunflower, E3 potato mine, E4 walnut brown coat, E5.
So as you heard there, it said E4 walnut brown coat, which is a zombie. So as you can hear, there is both a walnut and a zombie on this one here. So if you click this,
E4 walnut brown coat.
And there you go, that's the end of my mechanic. So just a quick showcase of how I would make a game like this blind accessible. Obviously there was a few tweaks. I really wanted to make the entire game completely keyboard only instead of using the mouse, but with that one slight problem, I had to just like kind of work my way around it, and it did. I am kind of glad that it didn't work, because it gave me some more ideas to make different mechanics and things. One final thing I want to talk about this game is there is, I see up here, there's a timer. Obviously it's not working here because I wanted to explain this game to you, but if I were to just quickly go into here and make this, oh hang on, let me just connect this to here, and I'll just make this 30 seconds, and now I start the level. As you can see, there's a 30-second timer for each level, where you have to try and find
the lane the zombie is in.
Find the lane the zombie's in, as it said there. So again, you have 20-ish seconds. You would hit one of these.
D3 empty.
Oh wait, no, sorry, it's this lane.
C1 empty.
Then you move on to the next level, and you'll have another timer. So that's it for my presentation of this game. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you understand the mechanics and the design that went into creating this project. Thank you for listening.